Hi gang. So tonight we're going to have a little play around, but we're going to have a muchness of breathness and relaxation, and just generally releasing tension of the day, tension of the week thus far. So let's get started. Let's come all the way down onto our mats, on our backs, lie all the way down. Fabulous. Let me just check. Cool. Okie dokie. So we're going to need a cushion or something like that later. How do we get there? How are we going to cut a line all the way down? Hand on heart center, hand on the tummy, and I just want you to bat those eyes closed. Just close the eyes down and focus on sending that breath all the way into your tummy. As you breathe in, you're going to feel those lower ribs expand, the tummy rise on up. The exhale, you're going to feel everything fall away. You're just going to focus on that breath. That slow, low breath in. And that slow, low breath out. 4 more breath cycles here. Breathing in through. Gorgeous. Taking that slow, low breath in. And that slow, low breath out. 2 more breath cycles. Just see if you can make that breath out just last a little longer. You make that breath in. Just expand a little further. And then from here, taking the awareness down to our tootsies. Just gently twiddling those toes. And then from there, we're just going to take it into circling those ankles all the way around. Just gently moving all the way through. And then take it in reverse, the opposite direction. Fabulous. And remember here, as we inhale, we're going to take those fingertips all the way overhead, reaching above our head, lengthening into our toes, into our fingertips. Huge breath in. As we exhale, we're going to hug those knees into our chest, holding on tops of the shins, behind the backs of the knees, whatever works for you, whatever feels comfy. Taking that moment of stillness or a gentle rock. You're all different. Do what works for you. Fabulous. But here we're going to take it back to those ankles. Just circle the ankles all the way around again. All the way and circle and back the other. Fabulous. From here coming to that pointy toe and flexy feet. Gently moving with our breath in. And our breath out. Crossing the ankles, open the knees wide, let's gently circle it all the way around. Forward. And then let's take it in reverse. Circling around in the opposite direction. Brilliant. From here, let's release the feet to the floor one at a time, taking our arm into that cactus T. And from here, we're gently going to fingertips are facing the wall above your head. As you exhale, you're going to pivot those hands and bring those hands all the way to touch the floor. Well, mine don't actually touch the floor. And then you're going to inhale, bring them back up. Exhale. So we're just rotating those arms in the shoulder joint, bring them back and down. And you'll notice that one side will rotate a little further and your fingers will get closer to the ground. Now on this side, it's like you're waving your hand up in the air, really, because it is nowhere near the ground. Well, yours might, mine isn't. One more time. This time, letting the hands, the backs of the hands rest right above your head. Reset that supine twist to the left, taking the knees all the way over to the left-hand side, taking the gaze over to the right. And focusing in on 4 breaths here. Just thinking, where you holding, where you guarding, and you actually just let your body relax and release. And gently pressing into your feet, bringing your knees all the way up to the ceiling. Let's take it over to the other side, taking those knees over. Gaze in the opposite direction. Also becoming aware of which side feels freer to move. Which side feels slightly less free to move. Please ignore the big tantrum downstairs that the husband is throwing at the child. If you can hear raised voices, that's what it is. We've got to love a discussion about how long people spend in the bathroom. And exhale, bring the feet. And bring those knees all the way up to the ceiling. And just hug those knees all the way in. Brilliant. With those knees into the chest, we're just going to keep the ankles, knees together, just circling them round. As you unit one way, massaging into the spine one way, and let's take it to the other direction. That's the joy of online. You can do it at home. The downside of online is the rest of the household is at home and they provide their own backdrop. Brilliant. And from there, let's cross the ankles, grab hold of the feet, and let's rock and roll. Massaging that spine all the way up to sitting. We're going to do it 3 times because I love this bit. 2. And 1 more. And 3. And let's just take a moment here. Interlace those fingers. Inhale. Let's take it up to the sky. Stretching those hands. Ooh, there we are. And let's exhale. Let's bring it all the way down. Interlacing behind, stretching away. Okie dokie, grabbing those fingers. Let's inhale, take it up in front. And let's exhale, let it right all the way down. Interlacing behind, stretching away. And gently release. Fabulous. Bring the hands just to rest. Palm up on top of the thighs, knees, wherever works for you. Okie dokie, we're going to bat those eyes closed. As you breathe out, you're just going to let your head roll down into your chest. As you breathe in, carving a line with that nose as high as it will go that feels comfortable for you up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring that nose all the way down, forward and down into that chest. Inhale, taking that nose all the way upwards. Now, if you doesn't feel comfortable for your neck for whatever reason, remember, just take it up to looking straight ahead. You don't have to take it ceiling ways if that is not great for your neck. Everyone's different. Exhale, let's carry it forward, just letting it hang. So there's a softness, there's not a force. Just becoming aware of that stretch it gives you down the back of the spine. Inhale, taking your nose up to wherever it goes. Bring your nose base to face forward. Still with those eyes closed, we're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. Taking that deep breath in and out. 2 more breaths here. Just each time we breathe out, can you soften the shoulders a little more? Let the elbows become a little heavier. As we still keep that spine as tall as we can. And bring that head back to sit on top of the spine, tall. Before we exhale and let it head fall to the other side, other ear comes to the shoulder. Just noting the difference in the feel of different sides. One more breath here. And bring that head all the way back up, batting those eyes open. Let's interlace those fingers. Inhale, press those palms to the ceiling. Exhale, let's take that mind move over to the left. Head's loosey-goosey. Feel that opening. Really sit those sit bones down into the ground. Deep breath in. And out. This time, as we exhale, we're not coming forward. We're going to take that arm all the way back round and down to the ground. Inhale, reach high for the sky. Exhale, take it to the other side. So the thumb is reaching for the wall behind you. The head's loose. And you're breathing low and slow. And the next time we exhale, we'll take that arm all the way round and behind. Fabulous. Bring the hands just to rest behind us. Fingertips facing away. We're going to come into Davanasana. Press those heels away. Sitting, tending those legs long. Sitting tall. So the fingertips are just behind you. If you can see, just behind you. So you create that little triangle support stand. You're going to gently bend your knees up a bit more. Heels away, toes coming back towards you. And you're going to lift your boobs for the ceiling. And the chin is going to come down into the chest. And of course, we're going to breathe. One more breath cycle here. Fabulous. From here, we're going to inhale, bring those hands all the way up into the sky. Straighten that, or press the heels away a little further. There's still a generous bend in the knees. We're going to exhale. Take ourselves forward, wherever forward happens to be. Now, if you happen to be loose also, forward is flat to the ground. If you happen to be merely human like the rest of us, forward is much more upright. In fact, forward for most of us is just off upright. Fabulous. One more breath here. And gently bringing ourselves up. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, letting those knees just drop out to the side. Saying a little hello to those feet. So forming our two little lobster claws, gently massaging the inside arch of the feet. Fabulous. And then from here, we are going to turn over hands and knees, going all the way over into our tabletop position. Remember, if kneeling doesn't feel comfortable, put several cushions underneath there. Or if kneeling really isn't for you today, come back to seated and we can do versions in seated. So from kneeling or from seated, we are going to do our cats and cows. We're going to exhale, arch the back. If you're kneeling, up to the sky. If you're seated, you're pressing those back all the way into the wall behind you. As we inhale, I want you to consciously think about moving that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing that tummy down, the chest through, the gaze forward. Before we start exhaling, curling it from those tail feathers, taking that long 6 count out. Inhale to forward. And this time, as we breathe out, arching it up, we're going to send those tail feathers back towards our heels into that child's pose, stretching those hands out in front, forehead supported on our forearms or on the floor. Showing the gentle roll of the head side to side if that feels good, or total stillness if that feels better for you. Remember, you don't have to be heels to bottom. You can be a lot further up, heels off your bottom. Choose the position that works for you. And then from here, we're going to inhale, bring ourselves, rise all the way back up into our tabletop. From our tabletop, we're just going to take our knees back, just slightly. So we're sort of like in a slightly squished table. So our legs and arms are slightly in behind our hips. Okay, so there's a, is it a rhomboid which has a wider base than it has a top? Okay, if you think about a triangle and knock the top off, that's what we are. Okay, so from here we're going to inhale, and as we inhale we're going to stretch ourselves into that cow pose. So really think about stretching the tail feathers back, the chest forward. but we're in that slightly extended base. Arms and legs are longer than our body. From here, we're going to exhale into that flat back, send it back into child's pose. Your bottom won't come to your heels. As we inhale, we're going to bring ourselves forward and then curl ourselves into that cow position. So bum up, chest up. And then exhale, send ourselves back into child's pose. One more time, inhale, bring it up in to that cow. Exhale, turning it back into that child's pose. This time letting your arms slide back a little further so you can come to relax fully in that child's pose. Taking that breath in and that breath out. From here we're going to take the arms all the way down by our sides. So the arms will come down towards your heels. Okay. The palms can be facing the ceiling. Okay, we can stay here. We can take the hands and place them into the small of our back. So one palm crosses over the other and the small of our back. Okay, or you can fold the forearms and hold on to opposite elbows, arms across just underneath our bra strap. So find which is the one that you fancy tonight. The one that feels nice for you. There's no right, no wrong, no better, no worse. They're all just slightly different. And then gently release the arms, drop down to the sides. From here, let's inhale, rise up into our table, bringing the knees back underneath the hip bones in their rightful place. Fabulous. Let's take a thread the needle. Let's inhale, reach high for the sky. Exhale. Let's take it through. Bring your head down. Remember, bring the floor up to your head if your head doesn't want to come to the floor. Hand stays by your nose. Reaches to the top of the mat, wraps all the way round. You choose which feels good. Should be no pressure on the neck, on the head. Taking that slow, low breath in and a slow, low breath out. Practice from here, gently unraveling, placing that hand down to the ground. Let's inhale, rise all the way up. Let's just take a gentle shake of the tail side to side. And let's take our thread the needle to the other side, rising tall to the sky. And then thread it all the way through. I'm going to turn myself around, otherwise I end up with my back to you. Okie dokie, hand by your nose, compress into the ground, reach to the top of the mat, or wrap all the way round. Your choice. Do what feels good. And at the end of this next breath cycle, We're gently going to unravel, bring ourselves back to our tabletop. From here, we're going to take it into extended table. We've got options. We just extend the left leg out behind us, or we're going to extend the opposite right arm as well. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Fabulous. Now just think, have you just dipped your tummy down to the ground? Can you just lift your tummy slightly, bring your belly button back to your waist? Fabulous. One more breath in. And out. Bring the hand down to the ground, keeping the leg there. The next time we exhale, we're going to curl that knee all the way up to the chest, placing that foot to the ground. We come into our kneeling lunge. Take a move around. How does it feel? Brilliant. From here, let's inhale, rise on up. We're going to take those hands high to the sky, reaching up. From here, we're going to take it sideways. The arms are going to come down to shoulder height, and we're going to rotate chest, rotating over that front thigh. Looking good. Now just check, have you sunk backwards, or is that front knee more or less over that front ankle? Now I'm sure you lot were. It was just me that was gently sinking towards my heels. Fabulous. Hand that's out in front, that's going to rotate down to the floor. Other hand reaches to the sky. Revolve, kneeling lunge. Brilliant. If you want to, you can lift that back knee off the ground, or you can keep that back knee down to the ground, your choice. Brilliant. Letting those hands fall to the ground. Okay. So just have a gentle move around. Both hands are on the ground, and we're just gently moving around in this position. And then the next time we exhale, we're sending that knee back to join its friend. Back to our table. Have a gentle wag of the tail. Reset that breath nice and low and slow. Fabulous. Let's take our extended table to the other side. So either extend fingers and toes and keep them on the floor, or we can lift in the air, or you can just do the leg if you want. Now just double check. Have you dipped your back down? Can you just brace and engage? Belly button back to the spine is a sort of right cue, but not really, but it gives you an indication of where the focus is to be. Fabulous. Then bringing that hand to the ground, keeping that heel still extended out. And as we exhale next, we're going to curl that foot, place it to the outside of that front hand. Have a gentle move around. How does it feel? Okie dokie. From here, we're going to inhale, rise high, fingertips reaching for the ceiling. Brilliant. I'm going to pivot round because otherwise I'm going to end up with my back to you in a minute. Okie dokie. And from here, we're going to exhale, take that rotation. Boom. Over the front thigh. Thumbs are facing the ceiling. Fabulous. Hand that's out in front, that hand is going to come to the floor. The other hand is going to stay high to the sky. Revolve low lunge. Fabulous. Let those fingertips rain all the way down. Gentle check, move around, check it all feels okay. Then we're going to send that foot back to join its friend. And from here, we're going to take it up into downward dog, tucking those toes underneath, lifting up, generous bend in the knees, keeping the head between the elbows. Okay, the focus is the tail feathers lifting high rather than the heels sinking. Brilliant. We have choices here. We can either walk our hands to our feet, walk our feet to our hands, or bring our gaze to look towards our thumbs. Bend our knees generously. We're going to inhale, exhale, and bring those feet to the hands. Everyone, wherever you happen to be, we've come into that forward fold. So we're taking that gentle sway side to side. Fabulous. Now remember, if this gives you a blood pressure issue, you're then coming up. Forearms onto your thighs and bring your head more in line with your tail feathers, because it's friendlier on the old head or your hanging low. And today, I can hang low. Brilliant. From there, we're going to inhale, come to that flat back position. Elbows close into the side, hands on the tops of the thighs. Okay, you're extending your head forwards, the legs are straight, softness to the knees, we've not locked out. From there, we're going to exhale, take it into that forward fold again. Generous bend of the knees. Brilliant. Deep breath in. And the next time we exhale, we're going to bring ourselves all the way up to our mountain pose. So we come to our mountain, feet parallel, hands facing forward. Now, I've got some new and fun things for us to be doing this afternoon, evening even. But first we're going to center ourselves back onto our breath before we have a little play around. So gently batting those eyes closed, palms radiate forward. Have a little wiggle of your shoulders. Let those shoulders slide a little further back down your back. Now can you lift yourself a little taller through the back of your head, through the crown of your head. And just take your awareness down to your tootsies. Whereabouts is your weight over your feet? Can we center it over the arches? We lift ourselves a little tall, grow up from those feet, up through the back of the head. Now let's take the awareness to our breath. What's happened to our breath? Does it come up into our chest? Maybe we need to send it back down again. We're breathing through the whole of the lung, filling it all the way up. Exhale. Bring that tension just ebb away. Taking that breath in and out. A few more breath cycles here. The next time you breathe in, you're going to take your arms wide to the side like a pair of angel wings to reach and touch all the way up and overhead, palms to touch. As we exhale, we're going to feel as the palms are going to come together and they're going to sink down past your forehead, past your nose, mouth, all the way down to heart center. And the next time we exhale, we're just going to let that head bow down to hang. Before we inhale, bring that nose to look forward. Let the hands hang all the way down by our sides. again, inhale. Take those hands all the way up. Eyes are still closed. Exhale, the hands sink. And then the head bows. As we inhale, the hands fold and rise all the way up. Palms to touch. And then exhale, sink down to heart center and the head back. Inhale, hands fall low and then rise high. Last time, up overhead. Exhale, come down to heart center. And then let your hands go. Take a stronger flap. Take a little gentle flap side to side. Let that tension go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play around with a little bit of mobility and a challenge. So I'm going to use a hanky. So if you've got a sock handy, okay, a scarf handy, something that's about, I don't know, that wide, okay, you're looking for, okay, a little something about that wide that you can just hold between your two hands. Could be a belt, could be anything, could be a bit of a cushion, a sock, anything fancy, a napkin, tea towel. Anything we can use for just to give ourselves a little extra space for this next one. Most marvellous. That's a lovely red brassiere there that you're using, Lou. Sorry, I'm laughing. Sorry, I'm joking. Lou has not got a red brassiere she's using for this next one. Right, okay. I've got Jonah's old hanky. Clean, I hasten to add, but his old hanky. You've got whatever we've got. So we're going to come down. We're going to come into a forward fold. Hands are going to hold this like that, okay? So we're going to take ourselves down into that forward fold. So gently sending those tail feathers back, just letting ourselves hang forward. Now that's the easy bit, isn't it? We're all down there. We're hanging. We're holding onto our article of fabric. With our hands on the article of fabric, we're going to take our left foot off the ground and we're going to step over the article of fabric. Don't let go of the hands. Hands cannot let go of article of fabric. And then we're going to take the other foot and we're going to step it forward. So now the article of fabric is behind our legs. Thank you. We're going to exhale and we're going to stand up and the article of fabric is now behind us. Yay. Okay, so as we inhale, as we exhale next time, we're coming down, the article of fabric is going to go up and over. Now I'm not that cruel, we're not going to take it overhead, we're just going to stay here. Taking that deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to sink into that chair pose. Okay, hands are behind. Lou, your back needs to come up. Chest up a bit more, Lou. Upward. That's it. Fabulous. And from there, exhale, coming all the way up. Fabulous. Only now, we've got to come down. We've got to go inhale, exhale, coming forward into that forward fold. The hands are going to slide all the way down the back of your thighs. You're going to step the left leg up and place it down. You're going to step the right leg up and place it down. And we're going to come all the way back up. And you're going to give yourself a round of applause. That was very good. That was bloody brilliant going. Okie dokie. Kirsty's all tired. Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lose the piece of fabric because we don't need the piece of fabric for this one. We're going to super glue our hands together. Okay, hands are now together. Our feet are about just over hip width apart. Toes are going to turn out slightly. Now, if you don't find it easy to come down into that deep squat without your heels coming off the ground, this is where you grab your cushion and place it under your heels so your heels are supported. Okay, because we're going to inhale and exhale, we're going to sink down into that deep squat. So if your heels are supported, it just gives you something to sit back onto. Okay, so our hands are here in deep squat position. Okay, so what we're going to do now is fingers stay near nose, but this elbow is going to come down to that ankle. So we're going to take it that way. Yes, and breathe at the same time. Yes, you can do it. Come on, Lucy, you can do it too. Yes, fabulous. Inhale, bring it back to center. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to take the other elbow down. Let's have a look at you all. Brilliant. Good going there, everyone. And bring it back to center. Okay, from here, we're going to inhale, come all the way up, let the hands rain down. Fabulous. Bring the hands behind our back, palms together. Okie dokie, taking that deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to come down into that squat again. Whoops, as I fall over. Brilliant, and let the hands come down to the floor in front. And then the next time we exhale, we're going to send the tail feathers high, head forwards in that forward fold. That was brilliant, gang. Absolutely fabulous. I didn't think you were going to be able to do all of that. That was amazing. From here, we're going to take ourselves forward onto our hands and knees. Coming down, I'm going to move around to this side so I can see you still. So we're on our tabletop position. And from our table, we're going to take ourselves forward onto our tummies with a slight belly flop, and we're going to come to lie all the way down. I'm just going to move this camera down a bit. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to come down to lying all the way down on our tummies, folding the forearms, placing our forehead on the forearm. Remember, if this feels uncomfortable for you, place a cushion under your tummy or several cushions under your tummy and chest. Okay, just to support your lower back. Have a gentle wiggle of the hips, side to side, check they're feeling okay. Then let's bring the heels all the way up to the bottom. Gentle waft around in space. Fabulous. Gently release those feet all the way down to the floor. Let's lengthen those knees and toes away. Press the bottom part of the knickers into the ground. Let's lift ourselves up into that sphinx, sliding those elbows underneath the shoulders. Stretching that tummy forward, then lifting it up. Shoulder blades slide down. So we're getting that stretch from the waistband forward and then up. Really opening through. And then exhale. Let's release all the way down to the floor. Fabulous. Have a gentle wiggle of the hips side to side. From here, we are going to grab our cushions again because we're going to come to legs up wall. So that inversion, which helps the whole body relax. So you can find yourself, your table you want to put your legs onto, your chair, your wall, whatever works for you. Take your legs upwards, and remember your cushion can go underneath the small of your back, can go underneath your upper shoulders and head, or just underneath your head. Choose what works for you. Okie dokes. And from there, just want you to think about your arms. Do you want the palms to be outwards in your scarecrow, palms facing the ceiling? Do you prefer the I surrender or cactus T position? Do you want the hands all the way up and overhead? Giving more of an opening through the chest, the shoulders. And finding what works for you tonight. I just want you to bat those eyes closed again. Just focus on lengthening that breath. Remember, if this position does not feel right for you, come out of it. Come into Savasana or laying out long, or a position of your choice. Maybe a gentle wiggle of the toes. And then that stillness. And your legs grow heavy into the hip sockets. If you want, maybe pointing and flexing the feet, or maybe stillness is better for you. Check in with how your body feels. And check in back with your breath. Has it risen back into your chest? And we send it back down low and slow into the tummy. We've got 2 more breath cycles here. Just feeling those legs go really heavy into those hip sockets. At the end of this breath cycle, we're gently going to slide the feet down the wall a bit. And then hug those knees into the chest at the zana. And from there, we're going to take that ever so graceful slither back onto our mats. There's no gentle or nice way to doing that bit. And then we're going to come down to lying on our backs. And we're going to come into Savasana. Remember, using the cushions wherever you want them, underneath the backs of your thighs, your knees, underneath your head, your back. Whatever tickles your fancy makes it feel comfortable for you tonight. And then we're gently going to press into the back of the head, lift the shoulders off the floor, scoot those shoulder blades back in towards each other before relaxing that shoulders and back. Back onto the floor. Eyes are closed. I'm just going to take it into that pyramid breath. Breathing in through the nose for the count of 6. And hold. in and hold. And out. 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 Keeping this breath cycle going. Feel the tummy rise as we breathe in. As we hold, we're not holding with force or tension. As we breathe out, we feel that release, that ease. Breathing in, we can feel that expansion, that softening. As we hold, we feel that containment, that stillness. As we exhale, we feel everything just flow away. Tension, stress. Breath in. Hold. Even that breath cycle just flowing. Even the ribs on the sides expand sideways. Breathe out, we can feel the tension ebbing out of our body. Breathe in, we can feel that softness, softening around the face, tummy, shoulders, the chest. Exhale, we feel that letting go. And then gently in our own times, slide those heels in towards the bottom. And we're gently going to roll onto our side. Press ourselves all the way up to sitting, however you want to sit. We're going to interlace those fingers. Inhale. Do that deep breath in. Exhale. Those fingers right down. And again, inhale. Exhale. those fingers, bring all the way down. And thank you very much, gang, for joining me this evening. I hope you have a lovely rest of weekend. We've got classes tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday if you fancy joining us. If not, enjoy the weather, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you next week sometime. Take care. Bye.